Matthew chapter 22. And I'm going to read into your hearing verses 1 through 14. And Jesus answered and spoke to them again by parables and said, the kingdom of heaven is like a certain king who arranged a marriage for his son and sent out his servants to call those who were invited to the wedding, and they were not willing to come. Again, he sent out other servants saying, tell those who are invited, see, look, I have prepared my dinner, my feast, my oxen, and fatted cattle are killed, and all things are ready. I think I need you to receive it. I know it's a parable, but he's trying to tell us something. He said, and all things are. Come to the wedding. But they made light of it. And they went their ways. One to his farm, another to his business. Sound familiar, don't it? Let me go to the thing where I can dictate what grows. Let me go to the place where I can do my own business. And the rest seized his servants, treated them spitefully, and killed them. But when the king heard about it, he was furious. He was furious. And he sent out his armies, destroying those murderers, and burned up their city. Then he said to his servants, the wedding is ready. I don't think you hear what I'm saying. I said the wedding is ready. But those who were invited were not worthy. Therefore, go into the highways, and as many as you can find, invite to the wedding. Somebody say, come to the wedding. So those servants, watch this, those servants went out to the highways and gathered together all whom they found. Watch the text. Both bad and good. Oh, Lord, have mercy. I said, that's what Yeshua said. We can't, okay, he said both bad. Oh, boy, this is good. Both bad and good. And the wedding hall was filled with guests. But when the king came in to see the guests, he saw a man there who did not have on a wedding garment. So he said to him, watch, Yeshua trip. He said, watch this. He said, friend, excuse me, sir. Sir, how did you get in here? How did you get in here without a wedding garment? And he was speechless because there was nothing to say. Then the king said to the servants, bind him up, bind him hand and foot, take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. Yeah, this Yeshua, this that other side we don't like to talk about. He said, cast him into outer darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now let's ground this thing, for many are called. Oh, we throw this one around. We throw that last one around a lot, don't we? We say that last verse a lot, don't we? We quote that one by heart, don't we? Look what it's actually connected to. He says, for many are called, but few are chosen. Take your seats. So first we see the wedding is for an arranged marriage. That means that the groom doesn't pick his bride. The father does. That means that the bride doesn't get to pick her groom. Say it's been arranged. Hmm. It's an appointment. It's been announced. It's an appointment and it's been announced. So listen close. The father of the groom sets the order for the wedding. Let me say it again. The father of the groom sets the order for the wedding. It's American mindsets that are twitching right now. What do you mean? Because we got Bridezilla on this side. And the bride dictates the time, the place, the color, how much you going to spend, what kind of ring you better give her. And she know the color, the cut, and the clarity. And the weight too. But the father of the groom sets the order for the wedding, not the son. That's why when they ask that question, when are you going to, I can't, that's not in my power to say. That's the father's. So the father determines that. So it's not the sons to determine. It's not the servants to determine. And it's certainly not the guests to determine. So I don't know where we get this idea that we can tell God when and how to move and what day that he's going to acknowledge. Now get the principle and listen real good. Mind the invitation. Mind the invitation. The text says, all things are ready, come to the wedding. By its nature, an invitation of this sort conveys a connection. So usually when somebody invites you, particularly to a wedding, because that's what's happening here. When somebody invites you to a wedding, there's some kind of connection. You're a co-worker. Let me make it biblical. You're a co-laborer. You might be a friend. You may be a loved one. But you might be connected to a loved one. They may give you a plus one. But however you got invited to the wedding, you had to have a connection to the persons involved. So in this scenario, because we're dealing with a king and a kingdom, the invitation went out to subjects. The invitation went out to friends. The invitation went out to citizens. But the subjects, the friends, the citizens, they blew it off. They didn't think it was worth their time. They went and did whatever they wanted to do. As if receiving an invitation from a king is just something to blow off. It's just something to say, you know what, that's no big deal. It's only the king. I got business to tend to. I got ground to cultivate. No. The king invited you. You stop whatever it is that you're doing because the land that you work in belongs to the king. I don't think you understand what I said. The only reason that your business functions is because the king allows it. So what you need to do is you need to put your things aside and attend to the king. It's interesting because this particular feast has reservations. It's got seats with your name on it. It was already ready. Say it was already ready. Everything that is needed is already present. I think you need to bless God for that. I said everything that is needed is already present. Even though you're not sitting there, even though you haven't seen it, I said everything that is needed is already present. In the midst of a famine, there's a feast already prepared. God help my soul. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So the first invitees weren't willing to come. In other words, they rejected the goodwill of the king. Let me say it again. They rejected the goodwill. The goodwill. Can I say grace? They rejected the grace of the king. I don't know what got in their mind, but that's what they did. Those same invitees were incentivized. So if the invitation wasn't enough, let me incentivize the invitation. There's a prepared feast. You ain't gonna have to wait for the food to warm up when you get there. Come on, somebody come into me, come with me to this century. You ain't gonna have to wait for the food to be warmed up. Watch this. This ain't buffet style. You ain't got to serve it yourself. It's gonna be brought to you. Because everything is already prepared. Say, it's waiting on me. Watch this. A lot of times when we have an assignment, we don't understand everything that we already need is waiting on us. We're saying, I need this, I need that, I need the other. What if I turned it around and said, it actually needs you? Say, my assignment needs me. Because watch this, nobody else can answer your assignment but you. Anybody else who tries to answer your assignment will fail miserably. Anybody else. So you're the only one who can fulfill your assignment. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Say, I have a purpose to fulfill my assignment. My assignment needs me. Do you believe that? Our assignment needs us, and that's who's supposed to fulfill it. Are you hearing what I'm saying? This was the second invitation. Yet they paid it no attention. They had no value for it. Don't miss this. Don't miss this. This is principle. Don't miss this. Abundance won't guarantee appreciation. Oh, that's way later than I maybe even have time to lay out. That may be way more later than I had time to lay out. Let me say it again. Abundance won't guarantee appreciation. Just because you have a lot of something doesn't mean that somebody will appreciate it. You can have a lot of love, don't mean that somebody will appreciate it. You can give somebody a lot of time, don't mean that they'll appreciate it. You can give somebody a bunch of chances, doesn't mean that they'll appreciate it. Say amen, everybody. Because God has given us time, and some of us have not appreciated it. Oh, we might do one side. We might be grateful, but where's the gainfulness? Where's the gainfulness? What are we doing with the time that he's given us? But I got this going on. What are you doing with the time he's giving you? What are you doing with the gift he's giving you? What have you done with the assignment that he's giving you? Watch this, because some of the dreams that we have are God-given. Some of the ideas that we have, I won't say all of them because they're not all, but some of the ideas that we have are God-given. But what did you do with that? I didn't have. Your assignment needs you. We're always looking at what we need from the assignment. I need somebody to help me. I need money to do this. I need this to do that. And I need experience to do that. And we come up with all these things that we need. Meanwhile, the experience needs you. Meanwhile, the people that you're looking for need you. But if you don't ever show up, how can they be there? If you call for somebody to come and help you and you never actually go to the place where you call the people to, how can you know who showed up? Some of us are calling for help, but where we're calling for help requires us to go to it. Never mind. See, we don't like that part. We don't like that part. Sometimes help is over there, and we've got to go to it. Watch this. Watch this. Sometimes we got to find the help that we asked for. It's not that they're not coming. It's that we haven't left. Because we want now look, I have this problem too. We want everybody to come our way. Come my way, come my way, come my way, come my way. Sometimes your help is right there in the middle. See, your help has come to that middle point, but you still coming up here. Come my way. No. Sometimes you got to go there. Watch this. The one with the issue of blood, I can't let her go. The one with the issue of blood, Jesus, come my way. No, Jesus, I know. I heard that you in town. Let me come your way. Let me go to where help is. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Don't take this invitation lightly. I know we've been doing it for over a decade now, but we've been doing this for a while, but don't take this invitation lightly. Don't take this grace for granted. That is a prevalent problem in this dispensation. Folks are trying to take, you actually can't do it, but they're trying to take the grace, his grace for granted. Oh, his grace is grace. And it's the dispensation of grace, and we don't have to do that because it's grace, and God will forgive us because it's grace. But should sin abound? Let me cut to the quick. God forbid. No, no. Stop trying to do. Stop. It's like any set of rules that we're given, any set, because we'll go back and forth about law. Let's just put that to the side for a little bit. Any set of rules that we're given, we'll try and walk that line. We won't stay in the side of safety. Let me push it. They said I could do that. Let me see if I can do this too. Let me see if I could be in two. No. Why don't you just stay in the parameters of the lines that you've been given instead of always trying to push the envelope? But that's what we like to do. We like to see how far we can push it. How much can we get away with? With God, nothing. 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 Here's another note. We got to understand the initiation. Understand the initiation. It's the king's inception. It's the king's institution. The institution of marriage, that is. It's the king's institution. And it's the king's invitation. Don't mistake kindness for weakness. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Make no mistake. Make no mistake. The invitation is a grace. And its abuse is deadly. Its abuse is deadly. Abusing its couriers. This is what's happening in the text. Abusing its couriers is deadly. See, some of them servants that didn't go and at least mind their own business, they wanted to kill anybody who was talking about the invitation. That's what they did. They murdered the people who were bringing them a message. They literally were killing the messengers. And they're at it again. They're trying to kill the messengers. Either they're trying to kill your character or they really trying to take you out literally. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And the king ain't having it. King's not having it. Are you hearing what the king? And in this parable, he's like, that's deadly. That's deadly. Those who brought the word of the wedding were being slain by these invitees. The king heard of this and destroyed the murderers and burned their city. The first invitees were deemed unworthy. Now, metaphorically, this is the rebellious house of Israel. Not the remnant, the rebellious. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Listen at this. Presence proves interest and investment. Presence proves interest and investment. If you show up, that shows that at least you got some interest in what's going on. If I show up. Now, if I become in tune, there's a return on investment there. I enjoy myself. I learn something. There's a return on investment there. So if you just show up, you'll get something out of it. Something. So get this, it offers involvement. Now, when you come to a place, you don't always have to be involved. That's another problem that we have in church. We show up, but the involvement is an issue. We don't get involved because we got excuses. I don't have enough. I'm tired. I'm this. I'm that. I'm the other. Are you breathing? What can you do? What can you do? Everybody got a word. I wonder who has a work. Everybody got a word. Oh, there's something on my heart. Where you work at? Where you work at? Oh, Pastor, I can't believe you said ain't nobody in this building can challenge me on my work, and I'll say it dead to anybody's face. Don't challenge me on that. You'll embarrass yourself. You'll embarrass yourself. And that's not to put me above anybody. I'm just saying, watch this. What if we actually practice what we preached? Instead of talking about it, be about it. Watch this. If we would be about what we're talking about, it would be easier for people to listen to what we have to say. Because I'm one of those people, I have a different method of learning. I learn by what works. Now, a lot of people learn by putting their hands on stuff. A lot of people learn by listening. No. I need to see it work. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. See, I work in the technology field, and until I see the light go green, I'm like, I heard what you said, but I need to see the light go green. I need to see the transmission. I need to see packets passing. I need to see something work, because when it works, now I know what you said has validity. I need to see it work. And some people like, I hear what you're saying, but I don't see it work. You say God can supply all your needs, but you're always begging for something. You saying God can heal your body, but all I hear you doing now, pain is pain. You're going to talk about your pain, but all you do is talk about it. I don't hear you talk about how God can heal your body when you're in pain. You always, when you're good, that's when God can heal your body. How about when you're hurting? And you said God can heal your body. And you got to come back the next day with a hurt body saying, God can heal my body. And you come back the next day with a hurt body saying, God can heal my body. And somebody might can listen to you. Are you understanding what I'm saying? And so watch this. There's some things that we have to go through sometimes as a proving point, not of our faith, but of a proving point of our witness. It's not a lack of your faith. It's sometimes that you need to go through a struggle, or God has us go through a struggle. The fiery trial, so nobody think I'm talking at the side of my neck. The fiery trial, so somebody can actually see you go through some things, because I'm telling you, it's a long game today. Is it very difficult to tell somebody overnight and they're just going to change their mind? They're going to have to watch you go through some stuff and be like, you know what, I see. You've been consistent in your press. But if you're inconsistent, and how many, anybody in here, how many of y'all like to purchase inconsistent things? You go and purchase a device that only works sometimes. You go and purchase food that only tastes good sometimes. You don't do that? Nobody do that. You don't. So you're telling me you don't buy into things that are inconsistent, but you want somebody to buy into your witness. You want somebody to buy into your backstory. And we're like, hold on, but I've seen no progress. I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm just asking you to show me progress. But if you still stuck, you want me to listen to stuck? I'm stuck in sin now. Why I got my own, never mind. You hear what I'm saying? Does it make sense? But presence proves interest and involved. We got to get involved, right? And involvement allows us to be interactive, not only with the task, but with the people that are involved with the task. That makes sense? And it can develop intimacy. Because when you work with people on a day-to-day basis, hello, co-laborers, know them that labor amongst you. Watch this. A lot of times we just around people, but we're not getting to know them. Oh, Lord. I say we're around people, but we don't get to know them, because watch this. When you really have to get to know somebody, that means that you got to be vulnerable too. When you really get to know somebody, you got to be vulnerable. That's the only way you build a real relationship, is that you have to expose your vulnerability. Does that make sense? Intimacy requires vulnerability. It just does. That's how it works. If I can't be vulnerable around you, we can't be close. If I got to turn it on, so to speak, when I'm around you, we ain't gonna be close. Now, I might talk to you, but we got to keep distance. We got to keep it this because you don't understand. If when I start being vulnerable, if I break down in front of you, I need to know that I'm in a safe environment. I need to know, okay, come on now. I need to know that if I'm feeling some type of way one day, right, I'm consistently, quote unquote, strong. And I said it like that for a reason. I'm consistently, quote unquote, strong, but I have a moment. And even real strong people have moments. They have moments, but in my moment, that ain't the time for you to come in there. See, caught you. Now I done been consistent. 11 months, 15 days. Day 16, I had a moment. And here you come. See? I told you. Gotcha. And don't let you get caught in something you got over. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Don't let you get caught in a moment of something that you got over. Don't see, they weren't really delivered in the first place. They weren't really over in the first place. See, I told you. Oh, you think this is the world talking this mess? It's happening right in the church. Instead of restoring one another, instead of being able to hold on to one another, be like, man, look, look, I don't know about y'all. Let me just be real with y'all. I don't know about y'all. I'm just trying to get to this wedding. I don't know about y'all. I'm just trying to get to this wedding. And I might need to borrow an undershirt or something like that. I don't see. You don't understand. I might need to borrow an undershirt or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just come up there any kind of way. I might can figure out some parts. Tell me how to put this thing together. Because I don't want to just show up any kind of way. Oh, I don't think you heard what I said. See, I have an invitation, but I don't want to show up any kind of way. Let me say it one more time. I have an invitation, but I don't want to show up just any kind of way. By the time that I get there, I want to have on everything I need. I'm thinking, and let me bring something back to you. I shall have everything I need by the time I get there. Watch this. I'm not going to do it by myself, though. I'm going to need some help. I'm going to need some people saying, you're doing a great job. I'm going to need some other people saying, you're only a man. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I'm going to need some people pump me up. I need some people keeping me level. I need some people saying, you're doing well, but you can do greater. You're doing wrong, but you can do well. I said, didn't you? Yep. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Here's the construct. We got to answer the ingathering. Oh, Lord, have mercy. I said we got to answer the ingathering. The text says, as many as you find. He's talking to the servants. He says, as many as you find, invite to the wedding. We got to answer the ingathering. Catch this. The word ingathering is synonymous with solicitation. I just found that interesting. It's synonymous with solicitation and collection. So there's a solicitation and there's a collection. Let me say it again. There's a solicitation and there's a collection. See, many are called, but few are chosen. And so the invitation was extended to anyone who was found. Now, metaphorically, this is speaking about the Gentiles, right? So anyone who was found. The wedding hall was filled with guests. Oh, Lord, have mercy. The wedding hall was filled with guests. Watch this. The assignment of the gospel, in other words, the invitation, is to reach all. Oh, you didn't know that the gospel had an assignment? Everything that God creates has everything that he says has an assignment. And so when he created what we call the gospel, the good news of Yeshua HaMashiach, it has a purpose. So the gospel, the invitation, has an assignment. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And what he's been doing since the beginning of time is sending out servants with a message. And if the messenger becomes too effective, they'll kill him. The most effective messenger that there ever is or will be, they thought they killed him. We don't like this message because guess what? And I love to point this out. It wasn't that the world was so ready to kill him. It was church folk. It was church folk that wanted to run church their way. Hold on, you mean you want to tell these heathens that they can have grace? We don't like that. We don't like that. We don't like that. Oh, you're doing good on the Sabbath day? We don't like that. Amongst the 6 times that miracles are, the 6 times that miracles are mentioned on Sabbath, every time a miracle is mentioned on Sabbath, there's madness that comes with it. This will jog some of y'all memories. This is not madness. This is Sabbath. But what happens is when you start doing what God actually wants done in the timing that he wants it done, people get upset. Let me say it again. When you actually start doing what God wants to be done in the timing that he wants it to be done in, you will anger some folks. You will have some folks upset with you. And if they don't kill your name, they'll kill your person. Or they're going to try. They're going to try. You understand? Watch this. Some of the attacks that we face is because the danger that we present. Some of the attacks that we face is only because the danger that I'm dangerous. I don't think you understand. We're dangerous. When you're trying to do everything that God really wants you to do, you become dangerous to religious folk. You become dangerous to sinful folk. You become dangerous to wicked folk. They don't want you nowhere around them because they're like, hold on now, this one's dangerous. Some of them just be talking some stuff, but this one's doing it. It's one thing when somebody's always jumping at you. I wish you would, I wish you would. It's another one when they start putting them paws on you. Are you hearing what I'm saying? When they actually see things shifting, when they actually see things moving, and they have to start being like, hold on, wait a minute. I'm going to have to adjust. But change instigates conflict. And some folks don't want to change. So they will fight with you to stay stuck. Oh, come on. I don't want you to think of nobody. I don't want you to think of nobody. This is a spirit. This is a spirit thing. I want you to see the spirit. Stubborn folks love to fight. Stubborn folk love to fight. They ain't got no issue with it. They ain't going to back down from it. You know why? Because I want to remain how I am. Because I can't possibly be wrong. Watch this. Some of us ain't speaking the gospel when we say we shall not be moved. Are you hear what I'm saying? But the assignment of the gospel is to reach everyone. The 4 corners, everyone. That's the assignment. The text says the servants went out and gathered all whom they found, both bad and good. Both bad and good. Here's the thing. The invitation is an open one. Say it's an open invitation. Say there's an opening. All mankind needs the gospel. Say amen, church. So all mankind needs the gospel. They need the grace and they need the guidance of it. Do we hear what I'm saying? It doesn't matter whether they be heathen or Hebrew. We all need the gospel. We all need grace. We all need his guidance. Say amen, church. However, here's the caveat. However, all who come won't be suited to continue. All who come, that's a double entendre. All who come won't be suited to continue. Oh, I'm only talking about a text. This is the text. All who come won't be suited to continue. Catch this, Matthew 13, 47 through 48 says this. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a dragnet. The kingdom of heaven is like a dragnet that was cast into the sea and gathered some of every kind. Some of every kind, which when it was full, they drew to shore. And they sat down and gathered the good into the vessels, but the bad, they threw it away. Don't mistake the gathering for what goes into the vessel. Let me say it again. Don't mistake the gathering for what goes into. So just because we come to the assembly doesn't mean that we're a part of the body. I'm going to say it one more again. Just because we come to the assembly doesn't mean that we're part of the body, because everybody who come ain't suited to continue. No, that's not on the preacher. That's on us. No, that ain't on apostle. That's on us. No, that ain't on bad teaching. That's on us. No, that ain't on your past. That's on us. No, that's not on your hurt. Nope, that's on us. Does that make sense? Receive this. We've been found for a feast. Okay, if the gospel found you, you need to give the Lord praise right now. I said, we've been found for a feast. Let me say it one more time. Sometimes we don't know when to give the Lord praise. We've been found for, if the gospel found you, give the Lord a hand clap of praise. I know some of us think that we found it. No. It found you. Can't be lost. We lost. Some of us still lost. But you can be found. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So when the gospel finds us, we gather to hear the gospel. We heard the gospel. But do we follow the gospel? Let me say it another way. We flock to the gospel. But do we follow the gospel? Just because you come around it doesn't mean that it's in you. Just because you hear it doesn't mean that you heed it. Just because you got it doesn't mean you go with it. Did I make it make sense? Yeah, okay. It's not about the flock. It's about the following. Because some people confuse mobs and flocks anyway, but that's another story for another day. We've been found for a feast from the Father who is King. That's what the parable says. See, the Father has arranged this marriage, and the Father is King. And he's arranged the marriage for his Son. Oh, Lord. Oh, you hearing what I'm saying? Say it's arranged. It's arranged. In all things. All things are ready. Let's keep going. Here's the key. Dress for inspection. Dress for inspection. Here's the turning point of the message that some might miss, is where it says, when the king came to see the guests. See, the servants gathered you. God help me. See, the servants gathered you, but then the king comes to see you. See, the servants will seek you out, but then you got to see the king. Let me say it one more time. The servants will seek you out, but then you got to see the king. And when the king see you, what do you have on? What are you going to say to the king when he looks at you and he asks you that rhetorical question? What do you have on? How did you get in here? Ain't nothing to say. Ain't nothing to say. Man has nothing to say when the king asks him what you have on. When he heard the invitation. Because when you heard the invitation, when you're here, watch, it's so interesting how we do things. When we're invited to a wedding or a funeral, anything formal, most times our first question is, what's the dress code? I just need to be natural real quick so we can be spiritual. What's the dress code? Because I just want to be in compliance with the dress code. Is it a formal wedding? Because every wedding ain't formal. Sometimes it's a beach wedding. You best not show up at a beach wedding with a 3-piece suit and boots up to you. You're going to burn up. But watch this. If that's how they ask you to come, you better show up there with your boots. You're darn tootin'. But most times when we go places, we want to be like, what's the dress code? Because if it's formal, I want to make sure that I get my best. And if I don't have anything, I want to go get it. Let me say it again. I want to go get my best that I already have. Or I want to go get something so that I can be in compliance with the place that I've been invited to go because I have a connection to the person who invited me. And since this person invited me, I want to show up how they expect me to, how this occasion, oh Lord have mercy, this occasion warrants a certain attire. I ain't talking about this garb either. But the occasion calls for a certain decorum. The occasion calls for a certain attire. There's things that he wants us to put on. Well, one of the things that you need to put on is put on Christ. Because watch this. Not only is he checking receipts, he's checking labels. One of the most embarrassing moments of my life, I was in middle school. And I had on a shirt that said guess. Guess what? That wasn't guess. And somebody pulled my card. They pulled my shirt back. And the tab said Fruit of the Loom. You know, I got one of them Magic Mall jump offs. Come on, man. That was my favorite shirt. Had gold writing on it. The colors were nice and bold. I had some shoes that matched with it. I like to wear it every so often. That was my favorite shirt to wear, and it was picture day. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. This was the day that my image was going to be captured for all time. And so I wore what I thought. Oh, I don't think y'all hear me. I wore what I thought was the best, but it was the imitation of a brand. And some of us are wearing imitations of a brand because we never looked at who made it. Man made it look good, but it wasn't from the original maker. It cost less than it should have cost. That's what excited me about it. Because I had good parents, good teachers. Y'all ain't hearing me. I had good teachers, and they would say, okay, instead of us trying to pick y'all clothes, here's a certain amount of money. You couldn't even go shopping with this amount of money nowadays. It wouldn't get you nowhere. But this is back in the day. This is back in the day. You could do some things. You could do some things with a C note back in the day. $100 you could do some stuff back in the day. Now you be like, psh, what about shoes and a T-shirt? Maybe, maybe, maybe. You better hit up Ross or Marshalls or something like that. Get you some off-brand. Never mind. Get you some off-brand stuff. But anyway. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. But it would give us this thing, and I've always liked things that look nice. Just something that's woven into my, but I didn't want to spend all of it. I want to have a lot of it. I didn't want to spend a quality amount on something that was real. I knew brands back then, and I always knew material and stuff like that, but I just want to have a lot of stuff. And that's what we do in the spirit realm. We just go get a lot of stuff that doesn't really have value. And we can show everybody what we got, but what we got is the imitation of a brand. And sometimes somebody be like, I hear what you're saying, but that's not what you're wearing. And watch this. If you don't study to show yourself approved, you won't even look for the label. You'll just wear whatever they tell you to put on. And then you'll be like, Mama, you shouldn't have let me buy that. No, you chose. It was your choice. You want to have stuff, and we want to blame the pastor. The pastor's like, no, I gave you the means to go get it. Watch this. I'm giving you the means to go get it. I'm not responsible for what you get. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, no, I know I can walk away with my hands clean, baby. Ain't no blood on these hands. I'm good. No, real talk. That's real talk. No. I gave you the word. The results aren't up to me. I can't make you do nothing anyway. Right? Watch this. Some folks you ask them to do it. I ain't doing that. And then tell my son, you need to obey those who are above you. What? I said, could you hold the door open? You strong enough to hold the door open? I got something in my hand. Could you hold the door open? Well, what you doing? Oh, you want me to open the door too? You know what? That's all right. I got it. It's okay. Oh, Lord. Are you hearing what I'm saying? The king gonna come see us. I don't think we understand. The king gonna come see you. Y'all know what I'm saying. You know when somebody come see you? Oh, let me see. I heard what you're saying. Now let me come see. You said you wanted this gospel. Let me come see. You took this invitation. Now let me come see. The occasion carries certain expectations. Friend, how did you get in here without a wedding garment? How did you get in here with a knockoff? How did you get in here with an off-brand? How did you get in here with all your flesh out? I said what I said. Oh, see, watch this. Watch this. Sometimes we think all your flesh out mean that your cleavage out, or you think, no. You can be clothes from head to toe and have all your flesh out with your nasty attitude, with your excuses, with doing your business, with making sure that your grounds are good. When he said, come to the house. When he said, come to the wedding. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Per the text, etiquette was expected. You don't see him do a whole lot of explaining, do you? He just asked a question. How did you get in here? Some of us need to understand that question is coming. How did you heard the gospel, how did you get in here? You heard the invitation, how did you get in here looking like that? You don't look like my son. How you want to be around my son and you don't look like him? I'm just talking about the people who want to go to the wedding. That's all I'm talking about. I can do what I want to do. Not stay here, you won't. When you come into somebody's house and you're by the door and you see shoes on the rack, why you got to ask questions? They got a rack by their front door with shoes on it. Here you come in here. Do I have to take off my shoes? Did you have to ask that question? Did you not see that they was giving you a message before you got into? Here's your sign. Ain't nobody told me. Ain't nobody told me. Ain't nobody. There's your sign. Lord have mercy. I don't want to go down that road too long. But the etiquette, yes, I do, but I'm going to stop myself. Etiquette was expected. Therefore, eviction was served. Watch this. We have an expectation of Elohim. Elohim has an expectation of us. When you got the invitation, did you read the directions? Ain't nothing more frustrating than to put a flyer up and people ask you where it's gonna happen. This is the most frustrating thing in the whole world. You put up a flyer, has the address on it. Where it's gonna be at? Did you read the flyer, or did you just look at the picture and marvel at the graphic work? Ooh, that graphic work. They on fire. You trying to find out who the graphic designer is instead of reading the directions. Y'all ain't hear what I'm saying. You looking at the picture, you don't have no idea what it's about, or you know how it look. You know how it look, but you don't know the information. You glanced over it, and then you trying to get there, and don't know where to don't have directions. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then they had on their formal attire. Please. They were polite. They invited me. I'm just going to show up. You showed up to an all-white party in red and white polka dots. Now, look here now. Look now. Now, we told you. They asked you to wear all black. I'm going to show up in cream. I don't know where you got this in your mind. I don't wear all black. Well, then don't come to this event. I don't feel I should have to dress that way. Well, then don't come to this event. I should be able to have my flesh out. It's my flesh. Right? My question I always ask from time to time, I don't understand why freedom for saved folks always looks fleshy. It's something that I don't get. Like, why does freedom look like flesh? Why don't freedom look like you not being in other people's business? Why don't freedom look like really the joy of the Lord is your strength? Why don't freedom look like I really got a prayer life? Why don't freedom look like every time I got a free moment I'm studying? Why don't freedom look like that? But nope, freedom always got to be fleshy. Freedom always got to be, ooh, I'm free in Jesus' name. What? Ain't nobody was looking for all that. Well, you ought not to be looking. If I do this, your eyes are going to be drawn because it's in the center of my body. It's not hard to figure out. Whether it's up here or down here. I don't need to make no more explanations. It's in the... Right? Most people try and look center. Most people don't do this. Right? If I'm talking to you and I start doing like this, you might, hey, I'm over here. What y'all ladies say when them dudes start, hey, up here. But if you done made it down here, I'm gonna tell you what a man gonna do. He gonna dive into the pool. I'm telling you right now. Now, discipline, man, will look at your forehead, because that's what I'll do. I'll be looking at your forehead. Mm-hmm. 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 And I'm trying to get out that conversation real quick. Real quick. Well, you ought to be able, I'm disciplined because I'm up here in your forehead, but what you're not finna do, I'm still in this flesh. I'm not of it, but I'm still in it. Does make sense? And so, yes, I should have pure thoughts. You should have a pure appearance. Don't let your good be evil spoken of. Some of y'all let y'all goods be evil spoken of. I see what I said. I'm done with it. But that's not what you're supposed to have on. Amen? I ain't saying you can't have no style. But again, why the church want to be sexy? I don't get it. I don't get it. Be sexy in your bedroom. Have at it. Be sexy in your house. Have at it. You come outside dressed like you are. Men, women, children, and babies. Are you hearing what I'm saying? But etiquette was expected. Therefore eviction was served. You knew when you heard the word wedding, if you didn't understand the assignment, you should have read the instructions. You should have asked somebody, hey, watch this, because watch this, what if I don't know how to read? Somebody know how to read. I don't know where it's at. Somebody know where it's at. But you're too prideful to ask. You just rather show up. Now you want to show up. Make no mistake, the extended invitation is not without certain expectations. The son's wedding has a dress code. It's a dress code of honor. It's about honoring him. It's not about coming as we are, more than becoming what the Father wants. See, we focus on coming as we are. Do we focus on becoming what the Father wants? Because somewhere on our way to the wedding, we need to find what we're supposed to have on. Because I can't, watch this, you can't show up to the wedding as you are. No. No, because when the king come, he gonna see you. And you gonna stick out. You gonna stick out. Because you want to be unique. You just gonna be you. You supposed to be a part of the body, but you just gonna be you. And nobody understands you. It ain't that nobody understands. We saying like, look, I got to fit the body. Right? I got to make sure I work with the body. I'm a part of the body. What I need to stop doing is fighting the body. Because some of us behave like antibodies. The gospel is a wedding bid. Whosoever will, let him come. Yeah, and still, you better come correct. Whosoever will, let him come. But you better come correct. And that's what we got to do. We got to start becoming correct. That means that we have to adhere to correction. Because I don't want to come and not continue. What sense does it make to come and not continue? I don't want to just be there. I want the whole experience. Amen. I'm not going through all this trying to get ready and trying to make sure everything is straight on me and I'm put together. And we are bride, so you know we take forever to get ready. another quick imagery. I've seen little shorts of these interviews, and they'll have on these. It's mostly women, to be quite honest with you, and they'll be on these shows, and they'll come in these scant outfits, and they'll be trying to sit with their legs closed, and then you'll see how uncomfortable they are, and they're trying. And I'm like, why? My, not only why did you wear that? Who loved you that little to let you out like that? If you got to sit like this, maybe you need to get something that's a little bit longer. I'm not talking about how men are looking at you. You ain't even comfortable with your own self. I mean, because if you want to have them out, right, then why you doing like this? Because you are uncomfortable. You realize, watch this, you're uncovered. You think you're going to be able to sit in front of the king like this? Who let you in here being fleshy? Who let you in here? Give me by the Spirit. Who let you in here with a split that high? I ain't talking about garments. I'm talking about division in your body. Where's your wholeness? Where's that at? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Whosoever will, let them come, but you better come correct. So the questions that I had approaching a wedding, and they're just a few. What guidelines should we follow? We've been invited by this gospel. What guidelines should we follow? I can't just hear the word gospel. I can't just hear the word grace. I need to know what it means. What does grace expect of me? What are the guidelines saying for me? No, I can't do everything. No, I can't be everywhere. No, I can't just appear how I want to be appear. I can't. I am not my own. We are not our own. And so every time we keep saying this stuff, I could do it my way. No. We are not our own. Whatever way you think you're supposed to be, you got to surrender that to what the text says. Men, women, children, and little babies. Are you hearing what I'm saying? What guidelines should we follow? What garment should we have on? Garment of praise. We should put on Christ. We should have on the whole armor of God. Right, Brax? Right. Have on the whole armor. And watch this. I'll preach a piece of it for you, buddy. Armor is heavy. Armor is not comfortable, but it covers. Armor is not comfortable, but it covers. Are you talking about somebody who had to walk around a couple months in full gear with a flat jacket? Not the flat jacket without the plates, the flat jacket with the plates. You got on 40 to 50 pounds of gear just to walk around. Oh, ain't nothing happening. You ain't even in a battle, just walking around. But you want to take your helmet off and then wondering why things keep attacking your mind. Put your helmet back on. Put your helmet back on. I know that chin strap is itchy. You better scratch it and leave that joker on. I know that breastplate sometimes make your chest hot. Say it with your chest. I'm gonna wear this armor. I know them feet being shod sometimes. Don't nobody like to wear heavy footwear. But if you don't wear steel toes, why you worrying about your toes? You know what I'm saying? Everybody talking about something, my toes getting stepped on. If you had on steel toes, you wouldn't even feel that mess. But you don't want to have the armor on because the armor is uncomfortable. If you had your loins girded, you wouldn't have to worry about people seeing your undercarriage. Anyway, but Well, watch this. We don't watch this. Watch this, ladies. Most of these ladies out here don't wear slips no more. Don't wear slips no more, huh? And wonder why men be slipping. See everything, lines and bumps and curves and everything else, right? Hmm. Look. I know it might feel comfortable, but we can't be running around here commando. Loins girt about with truth. Loins girt about with truth. Oh Lord. Are you hearing what I'm saying? What garment should we have on? Let me get out of here. And consider this one. I'm closing. What gift should we bring? Because if I'm invited to a wedding, be doggone if I show up there empty handed. I'm not gonna show up empty. I'm gonna give something. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna do something to say, hey, I appreciate the invitation. Watch this. I want to sow into the occasion. Not only do I want to sow into the people that the occasion involves, I want to sow into the occasion itself. And the first thing I got to sow into the occasion is myself. I got to sow myself, and the only way I can sow myself properly is if I come in honor. Does that make sense? So my gift must be presented with honor, just like myself should be presented with honor, with faith, not flesh. The wedding bids. The wedding is calling us. Will we come correct? Will we be corrected? Will we become who the king is looking for to continue? Because I don't want to be dismissed. I don't want to be evicted. I don't want to go where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. Many are called, few are chosen. Will you be chosen? Give the Lord praise right there.